61 team and our PI is based in Canada. My name is Tessie and I will talk about the history and migration in Canada. Next, please. Okay. Canada is a country with a centuries of history and full of important events. A nation that has custom and culture that come from several countries and that go back many years in time. A theory that has gone through various historic periods and stages over the centuries that must be known. To know the history and origin of Canada, you must first know what it is like and this historical location. After Russia, Canada is the largest state on Earth, located in North America. It occupies the northern part of the continent, except for Alaska, which belongs to the USA. Next, please. Thank you. Discovery, exploration, and colonization. The Icelanders reached the shores of Canada around the 9th century, but John Cabot, a sailor in the service of England, was the first official explorer. Jack Cartier began the exploration of the country region of the St. Lawrence River to the present-day Montreal, 1534. In the 17th century, the organization of the colony began. Quebec was founded in the 1608 and Montreal was founded in 1642. The colony was warranted to the Company of New French created for the purpose in 1627 until it became a dominant. The colonial population established in the San Lawrence Valley grew in a few years under the protection of agriculture. But the French dominant liked solid foundation, a small number of leaders to face the expression ambition of the English establishment, poor, poor organization, federal party regime, excessive power for the clergy, lack of political and commercial autonomy. Next, please, perfect. Okay, history of the flag of Canada. The Canada flag was officially created in the 1921 by British King George between 1817 and 1965, the official day of the Canada flag. As for the meaning of the Canada flag and its colors, you show now there are of three elements that make it up. The left in the eastern was the atmosphere reached during the Indian summer. The left of the decision tree has been the national emblem of Canada since the 19th century, placed between the two vertical riblets and symbolizes the geographic position of the country between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. The two red bands they are located for the right and left on the flag. They symbolize the two great oceans that break the coast of Canada, the Atlantic and the Pacific. The right strip flanking by two red bands to the glory of the fallen soldiers during World War One. The white stripe symbolizes the snowdon from the inner regions of Arctic tundras and savannas. To the left to the Hudson Bay, covers Canada, so in the winter. Next, please. Okay, migration. Why do people emigrate to Canada a lot? For several consecutive years, the United Nations organization has declared Canada as one of the best places in the world to live due to its quality of life. Specifically, for this economy prosperity index combined with a level of education and life expectancy. Canada has also been listed as the fifth happiest country in the world for this excellent indication of general well-being below Norway, Australia, Denmark, and Switzerland. Canada rates excellent indication in the environments assigned by the housing, community, education, work, person, balance, environment, crisis participation, healthy, life satisfaction, and security. In addition to the high rate the development, Canada offers free health and education system for all the citizens and residents. It has a stable economy with low employment and inflation rates, a financial system among the safe in the world, and not advanced extreme poverty. Canada is also one of the safe countries in the world. It joins low rates of crime and violence. This being of the main motivators for immigrants for different latitudes who seek safe environments for their families. Next, please.
Well, my name is Ilian Isabella Cruz Trevino, and we talk about the government and politics of Canada. The first one, Canada is a constitutional monarchy. Canada heads of state, the Queen of England rules in accordance with the Constitution, the nation's highest law. And we continue with the in this case, it's the Prime Minister is represented in Canada by the Governor General, who is appointed every 5 years by the Queen with the advice of the Prime Minister head of the Canadian government. The government has three branches: executive, legislative, and judicial, which work in independence to ensure the rights and freedoms of Canadians. Can you do the next one, please? The next one, please. Well, when we talk about the Prime Minister in the actual accord, the current Prime Minister of Canada is Justin Trudeau. Sworn in after general election on November 4th, 2015, and referred for a new term on October 21, 2018. And this case, each in the province of Canada, each provincial and territorial government has an elected legislature that passes laws. Depending on the province or territory, members of the legislature and called members of the National Assembly, members of the provincial parliament, or members of the House of Assembly. In each province, the Prime Minister fulfills a role similar to that of the federal Prime Minister, and each lieutenant government fulfills a role similar to that of the federal government, and has a ceremonial role. Canada is governed by an organized system of laws created by governments freely elected by the people in accordance with the principle of parliamentary democracy. In Canada, parliamentary democracy, members of the House of Commons in Ottawa and members of the province and territorial legislature are elected by the people. And representing and there is representative a responsibility for passing laws, approving and supervising expenditure, and according to for the government budget in the time. Well, we continue to my next point.
Okay, my name is Arlette Hernandez, and I am going to talk to you about the culture and tourism in Canada. Culture from Canada. Canada is a multicultural country, of the cultural mix that can be found in its territory, with a population of approximately 35 million inhabitants, a number of people that could be considered small, for Canada being the second largest country in the world. This country is known for being modern and progressive, with an open mind and citizens who are proud of their ethnic diversity and origins. It is a place with athletes, artists, and engineers, doctors and architects, writers, and scientists. Being a large country, each region has peculiarities, has its own customs and identities. The maritime region in the east of the country is very different from British Columbia on the west coast, and Francophone Quebec is considered more European than the rest of Canada. In Canada, various sports such as hockey, baseball, basketball, and soccer are practiced. Skiing is another nation passion. Canada is the home of all the cuisines of the world. You can choose from Indian, Thai, or Chinese food to Ethiopian, Mexican, or French, due in part to the rich culture and lifestyle enjoyed by Canadians. It is ranked as of the top 5 destinations in the world to live due to the wide availability of goods and service, low personal risk, and effective infrastructure. Canada is among the 10 most peaceful countries in the world, along with Iceland, Denmark, and New Zealand, according to the Global Peace Index. In addition, Canada is among to the top 10 countries in the United Nations Human Development Index, and index that compares life expectancy, literacy, education, and the standard and quality of life. Tourism in Canada. Tourism in Canada recorded a total of 32 million tourists, ranking in the country number 9 in the world in absolute terms of tourism. Canada generates around of 21 million of dollars from tourism in the nation alone. This corresponds up to 1.1% of its gross domestic product and about 8% of all international tourist receipts in North America. Among the most visited places by tourism in Canada are Niagara Falls, which are the most famous cultural destination in the country. The city of Toronto is the largest city in Canada and where the greatest cultural diversity is concentrated, since it's the main destination for foreigners who come to visit, work, or study. You can also find Banff Nation Park, considered the most beautiful landscape in Canada, Whistler, which is the quintessential ski destination worldwide, the city of Quebec, which still retains a lot of European influence, and Whitehorse, which is the next destination famous for providing beautiful northern lights.
Hi, and I will continue with this part of the class. And my name is Fernanda Guzman, and now I will explain the international relationships that Canada has with another countries. The first one is the Canadian United States Mexico Agreement, and obviously Canada and the United States and also Mexico created the largest free trade region in the world. This generating economic growth and helping to raise the standard of living of all the people that lives in these three countries. And then in this treaty, is Kuzma served to reinforce Canada's strong economic ties with the United States and Mexico. Also, Canada is member of all these international financial institutions. The first one is the Asian Development Bank. The second one is the African Development Bank, and then the Caribbean Development Bank, the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, Inter-American Development Bank, and the last one is the World Bank. And then we have the institutional framework of trade policy with the European Union. United States and Canada has these bilateral relations. They are fundamentally based on these instruments. The first one is the SPA agreement. There is the Special Partnership Agreement signed in September of 2014, which has been applied provisionally since April 1st and 2017. And it's an update for the framework agreement. And then we have the CIRA, that is the Intrigue Economic and Trade Agreement. This structure is complemented by various bilateral sectoral agreements. In 2003, agreement on wines and alcoholic behaviors, or the agreement on PNR, that is the passenger data record, reached in June of 2005. In December of 2009, an agreement on air services was signed also. And then we pass to exports. Then we have the 89% of Canada exports and 81.2% of imports are covered by one of the preferential agreements that it was signed with the trading partners. Canada has signed bilateral free trade agreement with Chile, Colombia, South Korea, Costa Rica, Honduras, Israel, Jordan, Panama, Peru, the European Free Trade Association, and also, and the last one, Ukraine. And Canada is negotiating free trade agreements with India, Indonesia, Morocco, the Dominican Republic, Singapore, and the Pacific Alliance. In turns, talks have begun to develop similar agreements with China, Turkey, Thailand, and the Philippines. And Canada recently has announced a diplomatic and security commercial strategy to strengthen its relationship with several Indo-Pacific countries and counterbalance the Asian giant, as well as diversify their trade relationships in the region. It has announced the start of talks with Taiwan for the signing of an APRI, and is negotiating also the trade agreement with the Association of Southwest Asian Nations, and wants to strengthen the relationships also with Vietnam in particular. And my partner will continue.
Hello, good night. My name is Celeste Barajas, and I am going to talk about the religion in Canada. First, I am going to explain the graphic. So let's get started. The Catholic is the 39%, the Protestant is 20.3%, the Orthodox is 1.6%, the Christian is 6.3%, the Islam is 3.2%, and the Hindu is 1.5%, the Buddhist is 1.1%, and the Jewish is 1%. And no one religion has the 23.9%. Obviously, everybody knows the Catholic religion, Christian, Islam, Hindu, Buddhist, Jewish. But in my personal case, I don't know what is Protestant and Orthodox. So let me to explain to you. The religion Orthodox. The Orthodox Church is one of the, so to speak, children of the believers of Christianity, and the Orthodox Catholic Church was born from the definitive separation of the Christian Church in the year 1054, Before, all the Christian churches were under the rules of Rome, which completely separated from Rome in the year 1054, dividing into the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church. And then we have the religion Protestant. It is a religion movement that originated in the 16th century to refer to Christians who separated from the Catholic Church after the Protestant Reformation promoted by Martin Luther. And that it's the explication about Canada, but doesn't have an official religion, but the most followed by the people are the Catholic, like we can see in the graphic. And this is all for my part on religion. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Salma Veloz, and I'm going to talk about education of Canada. The Canadian government views education as one of its top priorities. In Canada, the federal, provincial, and local governments are in charge of administering the public education system, which is why one may believe that the programs offered by schools and age ranges vary from province to province, but in reality, the systems are very similar. Generally, in Canada, the levels of education are divided into four, which are preschool education, primary or elementary education, secondary education, and post-secondary education, which includes college and university programs and vocational or technical schooling. Education in most of the provinces of the country is compulsory until the age of 16. In the case of Ontario and New Brunswick, it is compulsory until the age of 18. In Canada, there are usually 190 school days in total. The academic year begins in September after Labor Day and ends in the second half of June, usually on the last Friday of the month, although in Quebec, the last day of school is before June 24th and is a holiday in the province. In Canada, there are public, private, secular, and religious schools. When Canada had just been formed, most of the provinces had educational systems that were divided by religion. However, most of the provinces put an end to the public religious system, and provinces such as Alberta and Ontario, Northwest Territories, and some cities in Saskatchewan still have separate district school boards that are funded with public Catholic or Protestant funds commonly. In Quebec, the Catholic Protestant division was replaced in 1998 by a French English division. Therefore, in Quebec, all students must attend French schools until they finish high school. Only those whose parents attend an English high school in another region of the country have the possibility to study in an English language school. Like students in the rest of the country, they only have access to French schools if their parents are French or if they citizens who were educated in a French school in the country. As mentioned above, the structure of Canadian education is divided into four levels. At the preliminary education level, the country's public, private, and federal schools, as well as schools for the visually and hearing impaired, offer educational programs to the children between 4 to 5 years of age. However, in Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, parents have the option of enrolling their children free of charge for an additional year of preliminary education. In the rest of the provinces, it is also, but only through private programs. During the first level of education, children begin to learn the letters of the alphabet, learn to read, develop mathematical skills, play, and learn how to deal with other people. The primary education in Canada is similar to the primary education in Mexico. They receive 6 years of education divided into grades and ages. I'm going to say the grades and then the ages. grade 1, 6 to 7, grade 2, 7 to 8, grade 3, 8 to 9, grade 4, 9 to 10, grade 5, 10 to 11, and grade 6, 11 to 12. At this level, students learn about science, history, social studies, arts, and geography, and mathematics. Then we have the secondary education. It's divided into two levels: intermediate education, which consists of grades 7 and 8 from 12 to 14 years. At this level, students receive education from specialized teachers in the same subjects of primary education and also have the possibility to study a foreign language. At the second level of secondary education, high school education, students move on to a 4-year educational program from grades 9 to 12, which ranges from 14 to 8 to 16 or 18 years old, it, depending on the province. Students for college or university education. Finally, there is post-secondary education, where once students complete high school education, they have the opportunity to apply to the college or university of their choice. In Canada, the term college is the same as a technical school, where students who finish high school can specialize in applied arts or applied science. The college provides certificates, diplomas, and degrees. Those who decide to study college can have a broader education to apply to the university or start looking for a job. At university, students can pursue bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degrees, as well as advanced specialized degrees in fields such as medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, veterinary medicine, and law. Then we have the society. Next slide, please. Today's society is largely the legacy of the French and English-speaking Christian civilizations that colonized the region. France and England transmit the legal and democratic institutions and the universal values of justice, equality, and supremacy law. In addition, the constant waves of immigrants from all parts of the world have brought an ethnic and cultural variety that today defines Canada as a multicultural, open, and tolerant nation that celebrates diversity and recognizes multi-ethnic abundance as defining feature of its national identity. In Canada, discrimination based on race, age, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or any physical or mental disability is unacceptable to society and is totally prohibited in the workplace. Equality is an important value, and freedom of conscience and religion are respected. Canadians are nationalistic. They profess love for their country and its symbols. They are proud of their universal and free education and healthcare systems, and they admire the principles of democracy and tolerance and respect for diversity. Finally, punctuality is very important to Canadians. You must always be on time for school, work, or any meeting, regardless of bad weather or traffic problems. Those who are unpunctual risk being fired from their jobs or suspended from school. Now, my classmate will explain you our infographic.
Next, please. Thank you. This is like a review of everything previously mentioned. Um, Society in Canada are peaceful and simple people with a friendly and wholesome lifestyle. Relationship with other countries, high level of trade with different countries, high tourism in Canada for a landscape for and safety. Government is federal state with a parliamentary democracy. Migration, high migration for quality of life, education, and health. religion, and the most practiced religion in Canada is the Catholic religion. Education, the Canada educational system is characterized by being a very complex and varied system. History, Canada is a country with a centuries of history and plagued with important events. And culture, Canada is highly influenced by its colonizers, the French and the British. Thank you.